Hello and welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Katie and this is my channel, Something by Katie. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today I wanted to share a routine and do a little bit of self-care because it's very rainy and stormy out and it's Sunday and I just feel like doing that, you know? Also, I have some hormonal breakouts, so I thought that it would make sense to do my skincare routine briefly. I have a very simple one, and then also share the makeup routine that I do when I have breakouts. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hang out with me and just keep on watching. Okay, first up, I know that I washed my face. I don't have makeup on, but just to be safe, I'm gonna put some micellar water on and probably use the last of this simple micellar water. This is one of the only ones that I personally use, just using it on a cotton round, by the way. This is one of the only ones that I personally use that doesn't burn my eyes, just saying. The Garnier one, that burns my eyes for sure. And like when I use a toner, I don't know anything about skincare, I have to preface with that. But anyway, I'm breaking out. It's definitely a combination of like hormonal breakouts as well as the state of the world. Just getting to not only my mental health and my emotional state, but my skin too is freaking out. So I don't do anything special for my breakouts, I just do regular skincare. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is apply this Malin and Gotez recovery treatment oil. To be honest, I got this in a BoxyCharm a while ago and I just like it. I know nothing about it other than it makes my skin feel good, and it's a recovery treatment oil. That's literally it. So anyway, on to my hands. Also bright. Must be noted that before I started this, I washed my hands. That's a very important step. Wash your face and your hands, and also wear a mask. For the love of God, wear a mask. Feeling kind of just trying to keep it chill today. Next up, when my skin is feeling extra sensitive, I like to use the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I love this stuff. And I put this on after the oil, just all over to really make sure my skin is hydrated, because when I break out, my skin's always dry, but when I break out, it's extra dry. Next up, just gonna use my eye cream, and I'm using the Murad Hydrodynamic Ultra Moisture. I like to put quite a bit of eye cream underneath my eyes and just let it sit for a few minutes. I'll do this around my nose, and honestly on spots that have dry patches, just go with a little bit extra moisturizer. I just like to add eye cream generously because I do have such dry skin, and it makes me feel so much better. Just saying, especially because it's only November, but so winter hasn't even really kicked in yet here, but in Chicago, my skin just gets so dry during the winter. That's my skin prep. So I think that's an important part to include in this breakout makeup routine. I like to give my skin a couple of minutes to just like rest, and during this time I will put on a lip balm. I'm going to use the Glossier balm.com, and I have the mango scent today. But I just need, my skin needs to just sit for a minute before I put makeup on. So this is a good time to do my brows personally. I know, do your brows at whatever point you like to do them, but for me, I'm gonna wait for my skincare to sink in just a little bit, and I'm gonna do my brows and be back to start the makeup. So I'm gonna speed through this and I'll be back to talk to you in just a minute. Okay, an attempt has been made with the brows. Moving forward, when I'm having breakouts, I personally prefer no foundation. I know the instinct sometimes is to put on pounds of makeup to just cover everything. That obviously makes the irritation worse. Sometimes I'll do the tinted moisturizer if my Winnie. Oh my god. Like I was saying, I don't like to wear heavy foundations. If anything, if my skin is like feeling particularly red, I'll even it out with tinted moisturizer. Let me look at my face. Let's assess the situation. Oh, as a side note, I went ahead and put my concealer out on my hand because I don't want to apply the doe foot directly to my breakouts to be more sanitary. So I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand and then apply it with my fingers, then blend it out. So I'm gonna let that set for just a second. I'm feeling like my skin is pretty even everywhere except right around the hormonal breakouts. So I don't want to use the tinted moisturizer. I don't think it's fully necessary. So I'm just gonna go in with the concealer for now. First, I'm gonna take it on my ring finger underneath my eyes to get that there first. I love to let this particular concealer like sit before I blend it. It blends so much easier. Now I'm gonna go right on these spots. Got some redness over here on my cheek, and I always like to balance out the nose here. I think we're doing pretty good. And I'll use a different eye primer. So, oh, I guess I should put a little over here. Yeah, that's a good amount. Yeah. If I go in with thin layers like this, everything is just gonna look so much better. Because in the past, I have done the cake up foundation route and it just looks awful. So even if you have a lot more acne than I have, like more than just on your chin, like you should maybe try using a full coverage creamy concealer and like a tinted moisturizer if you want to like have your skin look more skin-like and not as cakey. Also, an oil like this will help, or at least in my experience. Another key is clean tools, and I just realized I have this new sponge here that's clean and I want to try it out. So I'm just going over everything here. Testing out this sponge. Yeah, it looks really good on this side. I do want to add a bit more coverage to those spots. I didn't get as thick on there as I wanted. I'm running low on this concealer. I'm gonna have to bust out my next one pretty soon. This is my absolute favorite. This formula just works so well with my skin. Just saying, it does. just pounce your tool, whether it's the brush or the sponge, just pounce. Don't smear or drag because you want the coverage to stay right where it is. And again, this is what I do instead of the heavy foundation, is I just do light layers of concealer. I let it dry in between, and then I go back with a little bit more, and pretty soon it'll all start coming together. Just gonna keep blending over here a little bit more. And voila, I find this combination of products to look particularly skin-like, and it's going to look even better in a second. I don't know why more people, oh my freaking gosh, Winnie. So I think one of the most underrated products is the NYX HD finishing powder. This is hands down the best pressed powder I have ever tried. I love it. I've gone through, I could not even count how many of these I've gone through in the past 4 years. Obviously the packaging is kind of cheap, it falls apart, but it's so good. It's a very, very thin, lightweight formula. They also have a banana shade that I also love. This one, be careful with flashback. If you're doing flash photography, the banana one might be better for that, but it's really fantastic. So anyway, before I go into this, I like to blend out the creases that may have formed. Also, I use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. I find this very dense brush. The size that it is, how small it is, combined with the fine powder formula that's pretty finely milled, I think that this combination is so good for my skin, my dry skin. So go right there under the eyes, next other eye, and then I go directly on the acne spots very carefully. Just one tap, okay? I'm just trying to set that spot so the concealer and coverage doesn't move over those areas. So very gently taking this like so. And again, I find this particular powder just does not kick up on me, and that's hard to do. I can still maintain that very, very skin-like finish that I think this combination of products is like magic for my skin. So I can look like I don't have acne, even though a little bit of breakouts happening. I don't know if this trick will work for you or all this stuff will work for you, but figured I'd try it since I was breaking out. Might as well show how I do my makeup, you know? The next step here is going to be bronzing, and I'm going to stick with a matte bronzer. Ace Beauté Bronzed in Paradise palette. Going in first with the lightest shade here, and again, I'm going in with a matte bronzer because I have some acne and I'm not trying to highlight any of those pimple spots. My whole face is just kind of, there are little spots. It's probably not visible on the camera because I have this bright light on, but I do have a lot of bumps all over my skin, and I'm just not trying to shine it up with a shimmery bronzer. I'm not trying to highlight it. So anyway, I'm just going around with this matte bronzer. I'm just dipping through the different shades. You know, I always go a bit darker on my forehead with the bronzer because that's where I'm tall. It's where the sun hits me and I'm naturally a bit darker up here. I just find that it looks more realistic, especially when I'm going for a like really skin-like effect on a day like today. Anyway, just keep bronzing up to your desired situation, and you don't have to use the same palette as me, of course. You can use whatever. I have a CoverGirl matte bronzer around here somewhere. Like you could, Physicians Formula butter bronzers, not particularly shimmery, so that's a really good one. This is just what I had at my desk right now, handy. Okay, now important part, the jawline. Don't want to move that coverage though, so just be careful. Tap and then blend. Don't want to move all that concealer. Next up is blush. I'm going to do my Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette. I'm going to use these 3 matte shades. Bop, bop. Skipping that shimmery blush for sure today. Oh, this is very nice. See, I already feel better about myself. Now I'm going to use Pink Moon, the very light pink. Put it towards the front here. Fortunately for me, none of my acne is up here. It's all on my chin. So I am, although I've used mainly, oh, I need to reset my eyes. They did not use enough of the powder apparently. Don't go overboard, but don't use too little. I also, you know what I should have done is contoured my nose, given my nose a bit more definition. I was a bit haphazard with that just there. I use this other Real Techniques eyeshadow brush for my nose contour. Clean that up a little bit. I got a little messy. Okay, taking this other white up the sides of the nose. Just want to keep this clean and bright. So actually I am gonna bake on this one side. I'm gonna use my Hourglass Veil loose setting powder. Do I need to blend that contour just a little bit? I'm getting a little perfectionist-y, but it happens when we do our makeup, right? I don't know. It happens to me anyway. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, I am fortunate that my acne is sticking to the chin at the moment anyway, so I am gonna put on a highlighter, but if you have acne up in the cheekbone regions, maybe skip highlight and just do a brightening powder underneath your eyes and just keep your look more matte. Otherwise you'll highlight everything. So I mean, do whatever you want, honestly. I'm just saying that's the effect you'll get. I'm gonna do the Concha highlighter from Glamlight. I love this. I love it so much. And I'm gonna use a really detailed brush. This is a Moda eyeshadow brush actually. And I'm just gonna apply it, not too much, but to my cheekbones here. Like to the top of my blush. And this is just gonna look so flattering in my opinion because it kind of distracts from the acne. Obviously the coverage helps so much, but there's still a little texture. I don't have too much and it's under my chin and around there fortunately, but I mean, I do this same routine when I do have texture and it doesn't look quite as clean as this does now. I have a very small amount of acne, I'm aware. But this is kind of what I do. I'll skip the highlighter if I have to. I'll highlight the very center of my chin. I'm gonna put a little eyeshadow primer on and just keep it very natural. I want to keep it pretty simple. Like I said, this is like a more natural look because we're not feeling 100%. I was thinking about just using bronzer in the crease, which you could totally do if you want to like skip eyeshadow. I'm going to use some browns in this Glamlight palette. I'm keeping it simple though. I'm just going to dip into the shade here, Peanut Butter, which is a matte right there. Blending brush first with that peanut butter shade. Keep it in my eye socket. Like, this is gonna be a very minimal look. I love this transition shade from the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette. It's so good. Okay, last step. We're gonna do lips. And again, I want to keep myself hydrated, so I am going to use some lip oil and lip liner. So this is Alamar Cosmetics Dulce. Taking the lip oil in Local Time from ColourPop. Sorry. Voila! This is the final look. This is what I like to do when I have a little bit of acne, maskne, whatever you want to call it, happening. I like to keep it simple. Just a few products, just a few key products. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit subscribe, like the video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, keep in mind, there's going to be a video coming soon with multiple looks using this palette, as well as my eyebrow routine that I have been into lately. And yeah, I think that's it. That's what's coming soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.